All right, today's message is a very special message, and it talks about something that affects everyone in this arat. What affects everyone in this arat is forgetfulness. People forget every day, every minute, every second. They forget so soon. People forget the good things that YAHUAH is doing in their life. They forget. They have been praying. Maybe they need something in their life, and they will be praying, oh, I need this. At the end of the day, when YAHUAH showed up for them and grant all their needs, suddenly, they will forget. They will forget suddenly. Why? It is because Ashatan want to steal you from your constant progress that you're having. I want us to look at the scriptures today and see the account of the children of Yasharah. They are the ones that ask YAHUAH to rescue them from the bondage, and YAHUAH rescued them at the end of the day. Then let's see what they did. Todaraba YAHUAH Sabaoth. Ba'asham Yahushua Mashiach. Awesome. Shamut. This is chapter 2. Chapter 2. Shamut is the one they translate to Exodus. The one the system of this word translate to Exodus. Chapter 2, verse 23 to 25. Years pass. After Yasaf will translate to Joseph when brought the children of Yasharah and his father Yaakov, which they translate to Jacob, to Yasharah, and they started living in Mizraim. Mizraim is the one they translate to Egypt. So when they were living there, they were okay at the beginning, and they gave birth to a lot of children, and they are multitude now. They have become so many. Years pass, and the king of Mizraim died. The king that know the children of Yasharah and the one that YAHUAH using showing them favor, that one died. But the Yasharahims continue to groan under their burden and slavery. They're not groaning. The pain of the burden and slavery, they are not using them for pains, for hard jobs. You see? He said, years passed and the king of Mizraim died, but the Yasharahim continued to groan under their burden of slavery. They cried out for help. Their cry rose up to ALUAH. They not cried to YAHUAH to come and help them. And ALUAH heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant promise to Abraham, Yashak, and Yaakov. He looked down on the people of Yasharah and knew it was time to act. YAHUAH now looked down on the people of Yasharah and now said, okay, your suffering has reached my notice. You have been suffering and you are crying to come for help, and now I'm about to fulfill the promise that I made with your fathers, Abraham, Yashak, which they translate to Isaac, and Yaakov, which they translate to Jacob. So YAHUAH now remembered those promises and is about to show and rescue them from their slavery and the bondage that they are in. You see? So now let's see, because remember, they are the ones that asked for YAHUAH. They cried for YAHUAH to come and rescue them. He said, years passed and the king of Mizraim died, but the Yasharahim continued to groan. They were groaning in pains under their burden of slavery. They cried out for help, and their cry rose up to ALUAH. Now it's time for YAHUAH to come and rescue them from their burden. And YAHUAH now shows a servant from among them, which they are the ones that even drove Musha out. Musha is the one they translate to Moses. He said, I am YAHUAH. Now YAHUAH has not called Musha. He's not introducing himself to Musha. He said, I am the ALUAH of your father. He's not introducing himself to Musha right now. He said, I am the ALUAH of your father. Remember, the children of Yasharah cried out, and YAHUAH called Musha, and he's introducing himself to him. He said, I am the ALUAH of your father, the ALUAH of Abraham, the ALUAH of Yashak, which they translate to Isaac, the ALUAH of Yaakov, which they translate to Jacob. He said, when Musha heard this, he covered his face before he said, because he was afraid to look at ALUAH, which is in the burning bush. You see? Then ALUAH told Musha, I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Mizraim. I have heard their cries of distress. He said, YAHUAH is not telling Musha now because I want to send them to rescue the children of Yasharah from their bondage. They cried to him, and YAHUAH has heard them, and he wants to send Musha to rescue them. He said, then YAHUAH told Musha, he said, I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Mizraim. I have heard their cries of distress because of their ash slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. YAHUAH is not telling Musha now that he has heard their cries and is aware of their suffering. You see? So now YAHUAH is about to send Musha to go. Verse 8. You remember in chapter 2 that YAHUAH, that they cried to YAHUAH. Then in chapter 3, that's when YAHUAH is sending Musha now. Now this is verse 8. So I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Mizraim, which is the power of the Pharaoh. Mizraim is the one they translate to Egypt. So the power of Pharaoh, he want to rescue them from the power of the king of Mizraim, which is Pharaoh, and lead them out of Mizraim into their own fertile, spacious land. Now YAHUAH is about to lead them from the bondage that they are in into their own fertile and spacious land. It is a land flowing with milk and honey. The land where the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, and the Jebusites, the Yabusite, now lives. Look, the cry of the people of Yasharah has reached me, and I have seen how harshly the Mizraim abuse them. Now go. It's time for YAHUAH to send Musha to go and rescue them. He want to use true, because YAHUAH always use true people on this arat. He said, now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people. You must lead. YAHUAH is not giving Musha. This is a command to Musha. He said, you must lead my people Yasharah, lead up Mizraim. That's YAHUAH's command to Musha. You see? So YAHUAH commanded Musha to go and lead these people out of the slavery, out of the bondage that they are in, because they cried out that YAHUAH should come and help them. Like some people today, they will be crying for help. Immediately they get the help that they need, they forget the creator of life that brought the help for them. So they cried out, and YAHUAH sent Musha to go and rescue them. You see? At the end of the day, let's read on. This is chapter 20 now. We are in chapter 3. YAHUAH sent Musha in chapter 3 to go and rescue them. So from chapter 4, 5, 6, 7 to 19. Actually, it was from chapter 4 to chapter 11. That was when YAHUAH doing his miracles, his signs and wonders through Musha. And YAHUAH rescued them out of the land of Mizraim. Now, YAHUAH has already rescued them out of the land of Mizraim. YAHUAH has already rescued them out of the land of Mizraim. And YAHUAH gave them his daba. And YAHUAH gave them his daba. You see? So when YAHUAH gave them his daba, at the end of the day, what happened? What happened when YAHUAH have given them his daba? They're not disappointed their creator by their disobedience. By their disobedience, they not did things of their own mind, of their own accord. Let's read on. The first commandment, after Yahuwah has rescued them, now Yahuwah not gave them his commandment. Now Yahuwah not told them, the commandment is in Shamu chapter 20. And Yahuwah daba directly to the, he spoke to them directly. He spoke directly to them. He said, and Yahuwah daba directly to the children, to the Yasharalim, saying, I am Yahuwah your ALUAH, which means your Almighty One, who brought you now after you've cried to me to come and rescue you. Now I've rescued you. He said, Yahuwah now said, I am Yahuwah your ALUAH, which is your Almighty One, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. You cried to me that you need help. Now I brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the land of bondage. He said, you must not serve the ALUAHim. ALUAHim means mighty ones. You must not have, and you must not serve any other mighty ones, idols, deities, but me, Yahuwah, your only ALUAH. You serve from now on that I brought you out of this bondage. You must not have, and you must not serve any mighty ones, but only me, Yahuwah, your ALUAH. That is what Yahuwah is telling them now, because he has rescued them to himself. He said, now I am giving you, just like he gave Adam. He told Adam, he said, take everything in this garden. Everything. He said, but you see this very one tree, don't touch. He said, for the day you touch, you die. Now Yahuwah is warning them now. You must not have, and you must not serve any other mighty ones. Do not take anything to become a mighty one to you. He spoke directly. He said, you remember the Shabbat day and set it apart and keep it Kadash. He said, because that day is a set apart day, which is the Kadash, the Sabbath day that we are in today now. He says it's a set apart day. Then he now talked about the fifth commandment, honoring your father and your mother. He spoke them live, so that your days may be long on the Arat. Yahuwah spoke them live. Then he now talked about the seventh commandment, the sixth commandment. He said you must not murder. The eighth commandment, he said you must not commit adultery. The ninth commandment, he said you must not the seventh commandment said you must not commit adultery. The eighth commandment said you must not steal. The ninth commandment said you must not bear false witness against your neighbor. Then the 10th commandment, he said you must not covet. You must not desire what belongs to your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife. And you must not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. If you look at today's life, it's people's property that people are putting their eyes in. Oh, if I would have gotten this kind of car, my life would have been set. Do you know the challenge that person is passing through? Even play after car under fires. If the person that you are coveting, that's your neighbor that you are coveting, if he put his challenge on your head, can you bear it? Every man in this Arat has their own different challenges and prosperity. So your time, you are saying what you are expecting has not come, does not mean Yahuwah will not give you, will not barak you. You see? So do not covet. After Yahuwah has spoken the commandment life to them, then in the verse 19, and they said to Musha, now they are not saying to Musha, after Yahuwah spoke the commandment life to them, they not say to Musha, you speak, he said, you Musha, he said Musha should speak to us. He said, you speak to us and we will listen. But don't let ALUAH, which is Yahuwah, the ALUAH, speak directly to us or we will die. Because the voice that they are hearing, the direct voice of Yahuwah, the daba of Yahuwah that they are hearing, they were trembling at the voice of Yahuwah when Yahuwah was speaking and telling them the commands that they will obey. Verse 20, he said, do not be afraid. Musha not told them, do not be afraid. Musha answered them, for ALUAH has come in this way to test you, and so that your fear of Yahuwah will keep you from sinning. That is the message that Jay just ministered, the fear of Yahuwah. So that your fear, when you fear Yahuwah, you will not sin. Say for because your fear of Yahuwah will keep you from sinning. People forget, they forget easily. They are the ones that heard the voice of Yahuwah. Yahuwah spoke to them directly. And they said, Yahuwah should not, they begged Musha, that is their leader, that Musha should intercede to them, for them, to Yahuwah, that Yahuwah should not speak to them directly anymore. That Yahuwah should speak to Musha, that whatever Yahuwah speak to Musha, they will obey. That's the state that they are in. Immediately hear the voice of Yahuwah. The fear was there. But now let's see if the fear continues. If the fear that they have for Yahuwah, if it continues, let's see that in these next scriptures. So the Rabbi Yahuwah Sabaoth.